from the outset, there's this process one. They went and got approval. They said, look, here's process one. You approve it. FDA looks at that. They say, yes, we'll grant you EUA, emergency use authorization. Then they swap out process one for process two, which is like, it's like any number of scenarios you can imagine. You get something approved, it's like stamped off on, then you just put something else in its place. They could have put motor oil in its place and have been injecting people with that and saying that it's FDA approved, right? Because they just, like, the original thing wasn't even there. So you found out this process two had all these contaminants, such as DNA, which is obviously not good to be injecting foreign DNA into your body, but also this SV40, which is a cancer-causing substance, right? When I've interviewed people like Dr. William Mackis, or Edward Flowers, talking about the massive increase in cancer, especially these new aggressive forms of cancers. And so from your research and understanding, is it that these, basically that they knew, but they hid the fact from the FDA that there was a very carcinogenic substance within these vaccines? They continued to give them. And now we're seeing just an explosion of cancer, especially among young people, right?
So I just Googled, is SV40 a carcinogen, and got an NIH.gov peer-reviewed paper, Emergent Human Pathogen Simian Virus 40 and its Role in Cancer. This is NIH. And it says SV40 is a known oncogenic, meaning cancer-causing DNA virus, which induces primary brain and bone cancers, malignant mesothelioma, and lymphomas in laboratory animals. Yeah. So they knew. So Pfizer knew they were putting a carcinogen in process two. And I have to assume that that's why Pfizer has redacted 800 pages of the manufacturing process, citing trade secrets. And we don't know when they redacted it, right? I mean, these questions, this story broke in the last 2 weeks. So currently, the whole manufacturing process is redacted. And you can see on Amy Kelly's article that you showed on your site, you can click through and see the table of contents. And we lift out from the table of contents the various things they've redacted, including contaminants, right? Quality control. Like, how did they know it was pure? They've sealed that away from the eyes of Americans. Pfizer knew clearly that they were putting a carcinogen, among other disgusting, gross, bad things, into this injection, and they certainly didn't tell us, so there was no informed consent, right? Which is fraud and battery and trafficking and a bunch of other crimes and civil torts. Pfizer did a process to trial that's documented, in which they injected people with something the people did not sign up to have injected in them, right? It's literally Mengele type, Nazi doctor type experimentation on human subjects. And then there was a 2.4 times adverse event rate in those people. And that's the formula they rolled out to put in our arms. The one with more than double the number of adverse events, including involving a carcinogen.